Picturegate. Who put that picture away? That's what they want to know. So Charlie's last live appearance before he was assassinated was from his home studio, at least.
Have you ever noticed how sometimes the smallest details tell the biggest secrets? Erika Kirk's first interviews after Charlie's death left viewers staring, not at what she said, but at how she looked. Uneasy, shifting in her seat, eyes darting away, hands fidgeting slightly. And then came the subtle, striking changes. The wedding photo that once sat behind Charlie's desk, gone. Replaced by a scroll, her wedding ring, missing. At first glance, these may seem like minor details, but in a world of secrets and power, tiny shifts can scream louder than words. People noticed, and curiosity began to snowball. And then the digital disappearance began. Less than 6 weeks after Charlie's assassination, thousands of episodes of his podcast quietly vanished. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, gone. Not partially missing, not hidden, erased. An entire archive spanning years of interviews, commentary, and pivotal moments just wiped. Fans immediately asked the same question. Who benefits from controlling Charlie's voice after he's gone? Was this a technical glitch, a platform mistake, or something far more deliberate? That's when Candace Owens spoke out. According to her, the deletion wasn't Silicon Valley's doing. She claimed it was one of Erika Kirk's first moves as CEO of Turning Point USA, ordering Charlie's entire archive removed. Staffers reportedly brushed it off as a platform handling issue, claiming the sheer volume of episodes caused technical problems. Convenient? Yes. Suspicious? Absolutely. Platforms do not simultaneously erase years of content across multiple services without explicit instructions. And this wasn't a glitch. It was systematic. But that was only the beginning. Fans then noticed something even more personal. That wedding photo in Charlie's office? Gone. Replaced by a religious scroll. Erika wasn't wearing her wedding ring in interviews. Observers began piecing together a story. Were there problems behind closed doors? Rumors circulated online that a priest had visited the home shortly before Charlie's final day. Erika also seemed reluctant to answer questions about his last hours. None of this proves anything. But when small details line up like clues in a puzzle, people can't help but wonder, what was really happening behind closed doors? Then came the shift in power. Erika didn't just grieve, she stepped into the role of CEO almost immediately, taking control of donor networks, conferences, student chapters, media arms, wire and influencer partnerships, an empire worth tens of millions. She didn't inherit memories, she inherited narrative control. Critics describe her as strategic, ambitious, and deeply attuned to influence. Meanwhile, reports claim that Charlie had been making decisions based more on conscience than expansion, turning down money, refusing political shortcuts. If true, this raises an uncomfortable possibility. Was some of Charlie's earlier content suddenly incompatible with the vision Erika seemed to have for the organization? The story gets even stranger when you look at social media. On June 19th, observers noticed Erika had deleted over 100 Instagram posts. TikTok content appears only from March 2025, leading fans to speculate, were older posts wiped as part of a deeper digital cleanup? Rebranding is normal for public figures, but paired with the massive podcast deletions, it paints a pattern. Calculated, strategic, and the online chatter grew. Could this digital purge hint at a larger motive? Then came the wildest theories. Some commentators suggested Erika acted as a handler, someone positioned behind the scenes, guiding influence and controlling decisions. Others floated more sensational rumors, noting her presence at dozens of global locations that coincided with high-profile events. Egyptian jets allegedly followed her in the same locations over several years. To be clear, these claims are unverified. They remain speculation. But in the absence of answers, people naturally wonder, who really controls power when the person at the center is gone? Defenders offered simpler explanations. Charlie's show was previously distributed through Salem Media Group. Licensing or contractual changes could explain why episodes were removed from major platforms while still existing on Rumble or TPUSA's own website. But critics ask the obvious question, if it's just licensing, why not make a public statement? Silence leaves room for suspicion, and suspicion is exactly what's spreading online. The shifts inside Turning Point USA don't stop at deleted episodes and social media purges. Before his death, Charlie reportedly welcomed controversial voices back into his orbit. After he passed, some of those voices appear shut out. Messaging subtly changed. Certain figures quietly sidelined, others quietly elevated behind the scenes. It raises a difficult question. Is Turning Point USA still Charlie's vision, or has it quietly evolved into something new, something Erika now controls? Then there's the personal layer, the emotional tension that the public can see but never fully understand. Erika's public appearances, her interviews, her statements about Charlie, all are intensely scrutinized. Every deleted photo, every missing post, every erased podcast becomes a piece of the puzzle. While none of this proves wrongdoing, it builds an undeniable pattern. The voice Charlie left behind is no longer entirely his own. And in this vacuum, speculation thrives. And what about the timing? Each deletion, each post purge, each decision seems deliberate, almost choreographed. Why now? Why immediately after Charlie's passing? Why erase content that had existed for years without issue? People are asking, and the questions keep stacking. Some argue it's simply the natural result of grief combined with taking over an organization. Others suggest there's a calculated agenda, controlling the narrative, shaping the legacy, and ensuring that future directions of the organization align with a new vision, Erika's vision. When someone powerful dies, their legacy can be reshaped quietly in ways most people never see. Sometimes controlling that legacy doesn't require grand public announcements. It's small, deliberate actions. A missing photo, a deleted post, an erased episode. Tiny things with enormous consequences. And right now, the question lingers. Is this about grief management, strategic repositioning, or something far more calculated? And every decision Erika has made since taking control has been analyzed, dissected, and questioned. Every erased digital trace, your every subtle shift in public narrative, every subtle change in appearances adds fuel to the conversation. Observers wonder, is this a story of calculated ambition, grief, or something more deliberate? And one thing is clear, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Someone is controlling the narrative, and the world is left asking the same question, who is truly in charge of Charlie's legacy now? And the unanswered questions keep piling up. Were the older podcast episodes removed because Charlie's raw voice was becoming a liability? Did Erika see certain content as conflicting with the new direction of the organization? And if that's true, who gets to decide what survives in a movement built on the voice of one man? The more people dig, the more cracks appear in the story. Finally, we have to consider the long-term implications. This isn't just about a podcast, it's about influence, power, and narrative control. Turning Point USA is more than a media platform. It's a political machine with donor networks, student chapters, media influence, and ideological sway. Whoever controls the story shapes not just memories of Charlie Kirk, but the direction of an entire movement. And that, perhaps, is the most compelling reason people are watching every move Erika makes. So, what do you think is really happening behind the scenes? Is this a story of strategic power, grief, or something even more deliberate? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because one thing is certain, this story is far from over, and the next chapter might be the most explosive yet.